What happens when the safest plan is the one your best operative refuses to take? Chapter 9 looks like a break. A sports festival, games, laughter, normal school life. But underneath that, this is one of the most strategically important chapters we've had so far. Because for the first time, protection isn't about fighting an enemy. It's about positioning. And the question becomes, what do you do when the perfect setup presents itself and your strongest asset won't act? After Chapter 8, the board has expanded. We now know Miyake was once Tsubame. Swallow Aoi's past is tied to a killer stronger than anything we've seen so far. And the fugitive world operates in a clear hierarchy, with predators like Hachikuma above others. So going into Chapter 9, tension should be escalating. Instead, we get a sports festival. But in shinobi philosophy, especially in the Shoninki, this isn't downtime. This is the most dangerous state of all, Heijoshin, the ordinary mind. Because blending into normal life isn't about hiding your strength. It's about functioning naturally within chaos that isn't combat. And right away, we see that our three operatives are nowhere near equal in that skill. The chapter opens on something deceptively simple. A chalkboard, chicken fight, tug of war, relay, obstacle course, mixed gender three-legged race. At first glance, it's just a list. But in this series, this is a tactical map, because every event represents exposure, public visibility, forced coordination, limited control over variables. And then there's one event that stands above the rest, the mixed gender three-legged race. The moment this event is introduced, two things become immediately clear. First, the author understands the setting perfectly. This is a classroom full of teenagers, which means this isn't just a race, it's proximity, it's contact, it's an excuse, socially acceptable, to get close to someone you otherwise couldn't. And the boy's reaction confirms it instantly. No one volunteers for anything else. But the second mixed gender is said, every hand goes up. Because Aoi isn't just a classmate here, she's the center of attention. But the second layer, that's where the strategy comes in. Because from a mission standpoint, this event is perfect. It guarantees close physical proximity to Aoi, predictable movement patterns, a controlled environment with limited variables, and if played correctly, it allows multiple operatives to stay near her at once. So when Fujimiya steps in and signs up with Aoi, this isn't just her making a choice for fun, and it's not just about connection. This is positioning, because by locking in one slot next to Aoi, Hibari does two things. She ensures immediate protection coverage, and she opens the door for the second slot, to be filled by someone else on the team. Ideally, Yodaka or Umineko. This is subtle, but it's incredibly efficient. Instead of one operative guarding Aoi, you potentially get two, moving in sync, within arm's reach, in a public setting where an attack would be harder to execute cleanly. It's exactly the kind of layered coverage you'd expect from someone trained in infiltration. And yet, the one person who should recognize this immediately doesn't act. Operator number 9 calls it out. Why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you complaining? And Yodaka's answer is one of the most revealing lines we've had so far. I don't want to bring down the mood. I know there's a time and a place. I'm the grass that bows in the direction the wind blows. On the surface, this sounds like growth, adaptability, something close to what the Bansen Shukai would describe as adjusting to circumstance. But look closer, and it's not adaptation, it's avoidance. Because Yodaka isn't choosing the wind, he's just refusing to stand against it. And this is where the mixed gender element becomes critical again. Because from a mission standpoint, there is no debate. Yodaka should raise his hand. He should secure proximity. He should ensure control. But now there's a second layer. If he volunteers, he's not just protecting Aoi, he's choosing to be paired with her. In front of everyone, in a setting where every other boy wants the same thing. And suddenly, this isn't about tactics anymore. It's about exposure, judgment, expectation. Because now the question isn't, can you protect her? It's, can you stand next to her and be seen doing it? And operator number 9 pushes. Aren't you the grass? Raise your hand. Think about the assignment. What if she gets paired with a weirdo? They're trying to force the logical choice, but what they're really doing is testing where Yodaka breaks. Because for the first time, he refuses. Not this time. And that line changes everything. Because now we know. There is a threshold where Yodaka will choose himself over the mission. And just as that tension peaks, the decision is taken out of his hands. Rock, paper, scissors, the winner, Taki Utsumi, Umineko, and instantly the gap is filled. No problem. Leave it to me. Confident, smooth, reliable, from the outside, he's everything Yodaka isn't. And from a mission standpoint, this is still a win. The team maintains coverage. AOI is still protected. The formation holds. But what this chapter is about to reveal is that stability might be the most fragile illusion of all. Up to this point, Umineko has been presented as something very specific. Stable, balanced, unreadable. Even operator number 9 says it outright. He has no shortcomings. But there's a hidden clause in that statement. We don't know what he's thinking. And Chapter 9 answers that question in the most unexpected way possible. Because the moment Umineko is alone, the mask doesn't crack outward, it explodes inward. Internally, the calm, composed operative we've been watching is completely overwhelmed. Among our generation, Yodaka is the strongest. And then, I got to talk to him for 20 seconds. Yippee. This is one of the most important character reveals in the series so far. Because Umineko isn't just composed, he's suppressing everything. The name Umineko, the gull, isn't random. Gulls are adaptive, social, opportunistic. They thrive in chaotic environments. But more importantly, they ride currents. They don't fight the wind like hawks. They don't vanish into darkness like nightbirds. They move with the flow of energy around them. And that's exactly what Umineko has been doing. Outwardly, he rides the current perfectly. Social situations, missions, conversations. He flows through them effortlessly. But internally, that current is a storm. The chibi moment, the samba metaphor, it's like a Brazilian samba in my heart. That's not just comedy, that's contrast. Because what we're seeing is a shinobi who has mastered external heijoshin, but has zero internal stillness. In the Book of Five Rings, Musashi warns, do not let your mind be carried away by the body. Umineko is the inverse of that. His body is perfectly controlled. But his mind, it's running wild. And the source of that instability is clear. Yodaka. Umineko doesn't just respect him, he idolizes him. And that changes everything about how we read his earlier behavior. Because now, every calm response, every confident line, isn't just professionalism. It's performance. He's not just doing his job. He's trying to live up to something. Then we transition to the mall. And just like the sports festival, this looks like normal life. Shopping for decorations, casual conversation, Aoi, Umineko, and a small group of classmates. But from a shinobi perspective, this is one of the hardest environments possible. Crowds, unpredictable movement, constant distractions, and watching from the shadows. Yodaka, still learning what normal even looks like, asking operator number 9 for context. What are they doing? That question says everything. Because while Umineko blends into this world effortlessly, Yodaka doesn't even understand it. And then something subtle, but critical, happens. Umineko spots Yodaka, and everything changes. Because now, he's not just protecting Aoi, he's being watched by the person he admires most. And suddenly, every action becomes sharper, more precise, more intentional. A classmate trips. 2 glasses of water go flying toward Aoi. This is the kind of moment shinobi texts talk about constantly. Unexpected disruption. And Umineko responds instantly. Catches both glasses. Pins both upside down. Controls the spill. Minimizes impact. From the outside, it's flawless. From Yodaka's perspective, it's amazing. From operator number 9's perspective, it's confirmation. But from Umineko's perspective, why is all this happening while Yodaka is watching That line is everything, because it reveals the shift. This isn't just reaction anymore, it's pressure. Then it escalates. Aoi stumbles, loses balance. Again, instant response. Umineko stabilizes her, protects her center of gravity, prevents the fall. But this time, there's a cost. He sacrifices his own position, falls, gets carried up the escalator. And when he reappears, he smiles. "I'm okay." And someone says, "A perfect smile." That line is haunting, because it confirms what we now know. The mask never breaks. No matter what happens, he performs. From the shadows, Yodaka is watching all of this. And for the first time, we see something new from him. Admiration. He's amazing. This is huge, because up until now, Yodaka has been the outlier, the weapon, the strongest. But in this environment, Umineko is superior. This is the inverse of Chapter 7. Back then, Yodaka dominated combat. Now, Umineko dominates normal life. But here's the problem. Umineko isn't just adapting, he's overperforming. Every action is heightened. Every response is immediate. Every moment is being filtered through one thought. Yodaka is watching. And that creates instability. Because now, he's not just reacting to the environment, he's reacting to perception. In Budo Shoshinshu, there's a warning. When you act to be seen, your judgment clouds. And that's exactly what's happening here. Then, without warning, everything changes. A shoe display, sliced clean in half, no buildup, no warning, just precision. This is Hachikuma, and the difference between him and previous threats is immediate. Miyake studied, tested, observed. Hachikuma, he acts. The shelving collapses, debris falls, the group is in danger, and once again, Umineko reacts instantly, pushes everyone out of the way, takes the impact himself. From the outside, still perfect, still controlled, still the ideal protector. But internally, he's losing track. Because for the first time, the chaos isn't random, it's targeted. And then comes the critical failure. "I lost sight of the assignment." That line matters more than any hit he takes, because this is the first time in the series an operative prioritizes action over the target. Then we see him. Relaxed, unbothered, Hachikuma, the crested honey buzzard. In nature, this bird specializes in hunting wasp nests. It doesn't avoid danger, it walks directly into it, immune to the chaos, and that's exactly what we see here. He slices again, and this time, it's not a display, it's scale. An entire store, cut in half. Concrete, steel, structure, gone. No hesitation, no concern. A job's a job, doesn't matter how many people die. This is the clearest statement of ideology we've seen from a fugitive so far. Miyake was precise, personal, focused. Hachikuma, he's industrial. Yodaka finally calls it out, enemy. Operator number 9 immediately responds, assist Umineko. And now, everything is about to realign. Yodaka moves. Aoi, I thought that was you, Nozuki. For the first time in this chapter, on panel. Aoi came over to me, fully committing. But then, the one variable no one accounted for interrupts everything. Nozuki, I thought that was you. Aoi sees him, calls him, approaches him, and Yodaka's response isn't tactical, it isn't calculated, it isn't mission first. Aoi came to me. And just like that, the battlefield splits. Because now the question isn't, can they stop Hachikuma? It's, can Yodaka protect Aoi without losing himself in the process? Chapter 9 does something brilliant. It starts with structure, normalcy, control, and then systematically breaks all three through Yodaka's hesitation, Umineko's overperformance, and Hachikuma's overwhelming force. The team is no longer operating in sync. They're overlapping, colliding, interfering, and that's exactly what a predator like Hachikuma exploits. So heading into Chapter 10, we're not just getting another fight. We're getting a test of roles under pressure. Can Yodaka act without freezing? Can Umineko protect without performing? Can Hibari re-enter the field and stabilize the system? And the biggest question of all, why is Aoi always at the center of the storm? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe to Birds in the Shadows. Because next chapter, we're not just analyzing a fight, we're watching a system break or evolve. And trust me, you're going to want to see which one it is.